Hi. If I ask you what make a good speaker, how will you answer? You know, a lot of learners believe that if somebody can speak English natively or they sound like foreigners, that means they are a good speaker. It's not very simple like that. For example, I and you, we don't know anything about Chinese language. And if some people just speak Chinese in front of it, we really don't know, right? Maybe he just count from 1 to 10 or just speak out some very popular and simple vocabulary in Chinese. But he speak it and he make it very fluently. And we believe so. We believe that he is so good Chinese speaker. All right. So when we study English, we really should know what makes a good speaker, because after all, that's the final target we wanna become, right? So let's talk about this topic. First, a good speaker must have good fluency. I don't know how good you are. I don't know if you are a professor. You have many college degrees, diploma, or certificates. I don't care. But if you cannot make me understand you, you fail. That's all. Some learners, some Vietnamese, who have some certain ability of speaking English. So whenever they talk to the other, they try to speak very fast. I don't know what they mean. They want to show off or something. The true meaning of communicating is to make the listener understand what we want to say. That's it. So we must depend on the ability of the listener. We must adjust our voice, adjust our words, adjust our way of expressing the idea, make them understand. All right? So we don't need to speak very fast. We need fluency. We need to speak very clear, very correct, and maybe fast. We need to speak fast sometimes because we need to show our feeling, our surprise, our anger, our worry, anxiety, and something like that. All right? So, but in general, we don't need to speak very fast. We depend on who are our listeners, and we will decide the speed of our speech. We will decide what grade. You know, sometimes when I teach my learners, my students, I even make very simple and even incorrect, not very correct structure or grammar. And even I don't use very appropriate words. I just make very simple. I use very simple words to make them understand me. That's it. Because that's what we want. Make them understand. That's it. Okay. They will not admire us if we just try to speak very fast and make them confused. That's not good, right? 2. We talk about good content. Because language, after all, it's just the cover of the ideas. It's just the means of transmitting the idea to the other. It's just the way, it's just the form to convey the idea. That's all. So we pay attention to the root. We pay attention to the inside. That's good content. Good content means that you must show your idea clearly to the other. Very clear. Okay? And then make it coherent. That means idea connect with each other. one after the other. We cannot make it very confused, very unarranged. That's unacceptable, right? And logical. Of course, nobody is sure that I am 100% correct. However, we need to be sure what we are talking to. Because if we don't believe in ourselves, we're gonna believe us. Of course not, right? So we really need to make it logical as possible. So about this good content, a lot of people, a lot of learners cannot do it already. Okay, and then we come to the third point: good emotion or good feeling. Because when we have good content already, but different people, they will show that content in very different way. Okay, depend on the art of talking, their voice, their tongue, their facial expression, their body language, and some signals they give when they speak. So try to make our speech trustable, emotional, and inspirational. All right. So usually at high level of speaking, people usually depend on this point to classify how good you are, how good a speaker could be. You know, some people like U.S. Ex-U.S. President Barack Obama, he really a good speaker. Yeah, his speech is usually very inspirational and emotional. It makes people believe in him, want to hear, want to listen to him, want to do what he urges, want to follow his idea. That's it. Some people really have very good skill to show his feeling and emotion, because take to this level, some people really become very excellent speaker. Yeah, we can name them out, like they are such a mere public, like priest, like MC, like journalist, like politicians. Yeah, they are really good speaker. Yeah, thanks to their skill, their ability of showing their feeling and emotion too. And the last, also the most important, that's the cultural background. One must have cultural background. One must have culture in his talk, in his representation, okay, in his speech. That means cultural background included 4 factors: literature, language, philosophy, and psychology. We need philosophy to choose the right idea, connect them with each other, arrange them in right order, and collect enough evidence, proofs, and some other thing to make it correct, to make it trustable. And then we need psychological skill, because we need to make people like to listen. We need to make them pleased. We need to understand our listener. And at the other clip, I will talk about how to make a good speech. And then we need the language ability, because we always need to use properly selected words and grammar to make sentence, because different listener refer different speeches. And of course, we need a large grammar and vocabulary, and that's the language skill. And finally, literature. We need to have some literature skill. That means we know what we should do if we want to tell story, we want to advise something, we want to suggest something, we want to convince something, or we want to discuss deeply about some important thing in life or convince the other people what's right or wrong and something like that. We need the skill of literature, the art of literature. Yeah, like that. So in general, I suggest you about this idea. We cannot just simply agree that if somebody speaks English like the native people, he can speak fluently, he feel very comfortable when he speak English. That means he a good speaker, that means self-confident. And if somebody just has some knowledge and self-confidence, that means he's a good speaker. That's so wrong, okay? Yeah, just come and discuss with me if you have any more idea, right? But right now, I would like my student to believe that this is the right knowledge about good speaker. In general, a good speaker must have his fluency, good content, good feeling, and good cultural background. And when we judge somebody if he's a good speaker or not, depend on this. The more he can do, the higher he can reach. I mean, he go to 1, 2, 3, 4. He's very good speaker. All right, that's it.